Here we go again. Happy Thursday. Wow, Thursday already. Okay. If ever any of my videos have inspired anyone, if they've inspired you to have a go at TV repair, good, I'm pleased. Just take the normal safety precautions, especially when it comes to power supplies. Just pretend that even if a TV's not been plugged in for days, just pretend that the power supply will have a charge in the capacitors. Always check, treat it with respect, and you'll be fine. The only reason I'm saying that is I think now is a good time to pick up TVs to repair. You know where the cheap parts are. I mean, parts on eBay are cheapish, but if you don't mind waiting a week to 10 days, and they're getting quicker, AliExpress is the place to go and get all your backlights, even some boards, some rare boards can be found at AliExpress, so it's always worth having a note. And you can pick up a TV pretty cheap, if not for free. The reason I mention that is because this one I've got in front of me was free. And it should be quite a nice one. It's a decent size. It's either a 50 or a 49 or something like that. Well, stick your camera on it, young man, and let's have a look. I got this free. All I had to do was collect it. And at the time, I didn't have a car. A car had some work done on it, so I was carless for months. So my neighbour took me to fetch it, and it's obviously got a fault, and I'm guessing it's backlights, and I'm guessing it's the one blink code, and I'm also guessing, because it was a long time, well, it's about 4 months ago I got this, and it's just been sitting in a spare room doing nothing, but I'm guessing it's backlights. I'm guessing it's got the one blink code, but that's enough guessing. Let's plug it in and see. I've just put the camera with Misty for a moment while I turn the TV around. Seems to have a nice stand. So where's the standby light going to be then? Come over here. It's there. Now the reason I'm guessing it's a one blink code, because all these TVs suffer with failed backlights eventually, and when the power supply can't power it up, it'll go into the one blink code. Maybe you've seen that before, maybe you haven't. Anyway, let's switch on. Oh, good gosh. Didn't remember that Panasonic suffered with the blue syndrome. Wow, okay. Well, every TV these days suffers with the blue syndrome. So it's not going to go into the blue, the one blink code. It's got the blues. Well, that's a bit disappointing. I've already done a blue screen this week, but anyway, I think this is a bit bluer than the one I did the other time. I say the other time, I think it was yesterday or the day before. Right. Well, I've got the backlights for it in here somewhere, but I've got that many tubes of backlights in here which I haven't labelled. I'm going to need to find out what backlights are inside it before I can go looking for the backlights. Does that make sense? Of course it doesn't. Let's start the process of disassembling. It's probably worth pointing out for those people that are new to the channel and have just joined us over the last few weeks and maybe have just found an interest in fixing TVs, that this is what we call a proper Panasonic. There are two types of Panasonic. There's Panasonic that's actually made by Panasonic. This would have come out of a Panasonic factory somewhere. It may say on the label. Czech Republic. But there's also the Eastern European Panasonic, which comes out of Vestel. I don't know if Vestel still make TVs for Panasonic. They do it under their permission, but there's never any Panasonic parts inside. This will have Panasonic parts inside. It'll have a Chinese screen inside, of course, but it will have proper Panasonic firmware and a proper Panasonic power supply and main board, I would have thought. Stan's got to come off first. My friend Stan. Interesting to note, come and look at this. This won't mean much to the American followers, but for the European followers, it's old enough to have a SCART socket on. I was going to call it a SCART plug then. I'm not too sure when they stopped doing SCARTs, but I would imagine 4 years ago, 5 years ago, maybe longer than that. I don't remember an announcement. I just remember them not being on the TVs anymore. And I wonder if this TV is 3D. I don't think so. I think it's old enough to have a SCART on it, but I think it's too new to be 3D. But let's just check the model number again. We'll have a look what it says on Google. Have I taken out all the screws? Can you see those three at the top? Are they out? I haven't got my glasses on. I'm sure I've taken those out. I'm a professional. They're all out. Edit this. And this. And that. Yes, they were all out. I'm a little bit underwhelmed by the main board. It's very small. And if those wires don't tell you anything, they should tell you that it is backlit and not edge-lit. We haven't done an edge-lit on the channel. I've got a 55-inch LG waiting to be done, which I will do in the next week. I am catching up. Unless I'm being nuts, but that's the first time I've seen a Panasonic logo on a screen. I mean, I would have thought that Panasonic owned companies that make screens, but those companies go under a different business name. The fact that they're stamping it Panasonic, putting their own brand on the screen, I don't think I've ever seen before. Made in Malaysia. I don't know why I said that. Nice clean power supply. It's a T-Con that looks like LG. It's an LG T-Con, so it's an LG screen. Which makes sense. I'm not too sure why there's a Panasonic logo on there, but still. I don't think these have to come out. Just noticed there are some screws here around the edge of the panel, so I better take all those out, and then we can start to wrestle with the screen. Not like me to miss a screw. They've glued the screen down. Apologies, you can't see here, but I'm just using one of my old business cards just to pry under the screen and get rid of the glue. It only takes a couple of seconds, always works. It was just that little bit, I think. I thought wrong. Well, that explains why the backlights have gone blue. I mean, it is an LG panel, but it's a Panasonic... Sorry, it's an LG screen and T-Con in a Panasonic Chinese panel and using LG backlights. I think Vestel used these as well. I'm going to plug it in just to see if we see the blueness, but some Panasonics don't come on with the screen disconnected. I think these will, but some don't. Ooh, that's a weird picture on screen. Sorry, don't know why that is. Not all of them blue. That one is white. You're not going to see this on the screen because so many others are blue, it's making everything look blue. 70% are blue. Anyway, we've come this far now. Wouldn't it be hilarious if I haven't got the backlights? You'd love that, wouldn't you? I know you're not going to believe this, but the first one I come to, I think, is it. Looks about right, doesn't it? And on this panel, you don't have to go... Well, I don't want to use the word farting around, but you don't have to go farting around trying to get the screen support clips off, because they've left holes to them. You just lift them up. Marvellous. And they haven't overglued it, so it's easy to get the reflector sheet out. I'm quite impressed so far. Not happy about that screen going on at all. it was really difficult to get back in. And then when I was putting the LVDS cables in, it was a good 3 or 4 centimetres off. It had just slipped. Have to be very precise with that. Not happy with that at all. That's very weird. I'm going to switch on now just to see if we do get some sort of picture. There's a line here. I can't work out if that's a line. Can you see? Is that a line or is that part of the effect? I think it's a bit too neat to be a line. Well. I don't believe it. It's a good job I noticed. Oh, you can just see it, look. I've got a black dot just here. That is actually behind the screen. Luckily that was just a piece of glue, and I could just lift the screen up a couple of centimetres and blow it away, so it's gone, it's fine. Right, switch it on. I do seem to have a remote, which is a Panasonic remote. I'm going to see if it works by switching it off, and it does. Oh yeah, that's definitely a graphic line, isn't it? Actually, you can't see it from there, but if I do this, it goes. It was a graphic line. Right. Go up to the top and apps. Now there's 2 graphic lines. And the picture quality looks quite washed out on that, but that could be because they've been trying to compensate for the blue before. My goodness, yeah, look at the brightness. Look at that brightness. Full on. That's much better. Okay, I'm all right with that. That's fine. It's a bit slow, isn't it? It's a bit jerky, but then again, I think this is probably it's probably in need of an update. Bet you it hasn't had one for ages. But that's something I will sort out at a later date. We've sorted it out. I've just got to put the screws in, put the stand on, and then sell it on. It's no good. You know, it was gifted to me. I've gone to the expense of putting backlights. I don't know how much the backlights were. Not a lot. £18, £20, something like that. So I'll make a little profit on this. And it's got a remote, and it's got a stand, and it's got brand new backlights in, so it should last for quite some time. As far as the apps are concerned, well, Nothing much I can do about that. If they're slow, they're slow. But it's working. Thanks for watching.